All across Europe and throughout the world, a growing number of people uphold the principle that no human being is illegal. Yet, irregular migration status remains a way of discriminating against part of our population by restricting their access to basic social services. This is a violation of their human rights. Janice is from the Philippines and arrived in Cyprus to work as a domestic worker. After 8 years, she lost her residence permit.
I was legal for 8 years like this. My boss is German and my madam is Cypriot. And for 4 years, I stay with them. They contract. After they extend me for another 2 years, so 6 years. Then from that time, they extend me for 1 year, like this. So that I stayed legal with them, working in the house.
Amir came as an asylum seeker, but his application was unsuccessful. When he asked for help, he was cheated by an unscrupulous lawyer.
When did they send the rejection from the asylum service? Which year?
I think 2005.
2005
or 2004, I don't know. But that time, when they reject me, I have the lawyer. He go in immigration about my case. He coming and they show me some paper. But after that time, my lawyer is go Greece. I find another one is too much mafia. He didn't do nothing. Just he get the money.
Together they had a baby who was born prematurely and needed specific medical care. The doctors and social services put pressure on them to give their baby up for adoption, arguing that being undocumented, they would not be able to afford to take care of her. They first agreed, but soon regretted their decision. When Janice went to the social services to get her baby back, they called the immigration services.
When I was in the social welfare, they call immigration. Are you sure they can't to extend you to work here? Are you sure? Like this, they're too much pressure to me that time. But I was alone. I said yes. I found one employer to make me paper. Oh sure, that's it. Immigration is coming. We will see what the answer. I sit there. I waited, but my heartbeat is so fast. I know something will happen, and they come, and after that they put me in jail. They said, how you are overstay here? How possible you stay here for legal here for 8 years, and after now you want to find the employer to stay here? No possible. After they bring me in the jail and they put me in the jail in that time.
Thanks to the support of the local NGO KISA, Janice was released after some months of detention. But there were no avenues to regularise. They are both undocumented. She stays at home with the baby and Amir has occasional day jobs.
Yes, I am working, but no for the every day. For the 2 days, 3 days, and 5 days I'm looking for another job. Any job. I cannot choose the job. Any job they calling to me for the garden, for the parking, for the painting, any job, for the building. I don't want nothing about Cyprus. No visa, no passport, no card, no ID, nothing. Just give me one permit work, I can to work it, just. Because I have to pay about the rent, about everything now. Many times I'm working, for example, 1 week, he paid to me 4 days. He tell you, okay, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going, I don't have nothing tomorrow. How I can come? And I call him, no answering. I'm going, I understand, he don't want to pay, I don't
Sometimes,
follow.
sir, we go together. just to just to
Because
take the money.
they believe in. I telling to them I have baby. I buy this milk is €7, €7.5. You see her, I have to buy, but they don't care.
Having faced detention and family separation, Janice is now afraid every time she goes out.
I don't want to happen to cry again and to be miserable in the jail, sir. I don't know, sir. Again, what will happen with her, with him? Maybe they don't know.
You are afraid to ask a paper at the authorities of Cyprus?
Sir, when you go there, I hear when you go there and ask for something like this, they will catch you or something. I don't know. How many friends of mine is like this? They go there for help to ask something and quickly they put them in jail because no chance. They said in the computer, no, you're illegal. They don't let, never to go out in the room. Sir. Quickly they put in jail. That's why I'm afraid to go. For what, sir? To lose again here? No, sir.
Cyprus does not provide them any possibility to obtain a residence permit, and they are left with no hope for the future.
But it's too long time. If it's after 2 years, 3 years, I can't do something. I can't change something. But now it's 10 years that I am in the Cyprus. All my bridge in my back is break. Just I have in my front. But my front is sea, ocean. I cannot walk in this sea. Just I'm worried about the future for the baby.
The situation in Cyprus is not an exception. All over Europe, undocumented migrants see their rights violated.
The situation of migrants in irregular situation is a concern for the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights because the vulnerabilities they face in terms of long periods of detention, the situations they face, for example, when they get into the hands of an unscrupulous employers, for example, which beat them to different situations of discrimination in terms of pay, in terms of working hours, just purely based on their status in the country, where another migrant or another citizen with a different work permit will be paid a normal salary or will having working hours, because in some of these situations when a person have this kind of vulnerability, it makes it easier sometimes to play the twist with the person to say, I will need you to work longer, otherwise I will report on your situation. And I think these vulnerabilities go all the time. I think it's difficult that we look all the time at the situation of irregularity or regularity as two separate blocks. It's a continuum, and we have a reality in Europe where people comes in a regular situation, but through different periods of time they can become, for bureaucratic reasons, in irregular situation, and then they have the possibility of have a regular situation through the regularization process. So I think that this is a situation which needs to be looked as a continuum and try to see what are the vulnerabilities and how the rights of these persons are violated or they are not respected.
Undocumented migrants in Europe are not only victims of human rights violations, they are also criminalised and scapegoated by populist policymakers.
What we see everywhere in Europe is more and more right-wing governments and more xenophobic attitudes, which also, of course, affects the lives of undocumented migrants and makes it more difficult for them to survive. And if we look here in the Netherlands, we have a very right-wing government since a year that want to really show how harsh, how how they can prevent the existence or stop the existence of undocumented migrants, which is of course not possible, but they started by giving numbers. We want to diminish the amount of undocumented migrants in the Netherlands by a half, and things like that that are absolutely not evaluable. So what they do is everywhere they try to limit the room to maneuver, the possibilities for undocumented migrants to survive. That is in the housing market, in the job market, and also how they can be free on the streets. So the criminalization is one of the main new policies that they want to implement. And with criminalization, I mean that people who are undocumented, they can be punished just because they are here.
Although politicians often use the current economic crisis to channel public dissatisfaction towards undocumented migrants, civil society actors and undocumented migrants themselves are raising their voices to reclaim the humanity of Europe.
Civil society have a very important role to play, because it is not only about undocumented migrants, it is not only about the policies of the government, it is fundamentally about what kind of societies we want to live in, what kind of societies we want to create for the generations to come, our children and their grandchildren. So it's all about our future generations, the well-being, the ethical and moral foundations of our societies, how we treat these people. So partly the authorities and the politicians and the decision making it, they don't want to look at a reality in the midst of our societies, which we use the services of these people. And our societies are being built as a cheap labor, and we enjoy the benefit of their labor, but we refuse to acknowledge their existence in the midst of us. There, I think the civil society has a tremendous role to play to defend the rights, the humanity of those people. And it's by defending them, we defend our own rights, our own